Welcome back, Gothamites. If you're new here, hi! I'm London, aka History of the Batman. So last night, Saturday, December 15th, if you were an Amazon Prime member, you had the chance to see an early screening of the latest DCEU film, Aquaman. And since I am a Prime member, Prime is awesome, by the way. Like, you can get stuff shipped the next day, prices are cut. It's actually a pretty good deal. You should join Amazon Prime. This isn't like sponsored or anything, but Amazon Prime is pretty cool. But I did take this time to see Aquaman a week before it comes out this upcoming Friday, December 21st. I do want to talk to you guys about it, but I don't want to spoil it for you. I know that it's open in China and the UK, and many people have seen early screenings over the last couple of weeks. So it isn't like us Amazon Prime members are the first ones to see it. However, I know there are tons of you out there that have to wait until this upcoming Thursday night or Friday or the weekend after. So I thought that I would do a very quick first reaction, non-spoiler review of Aquaman and maybe tell you whether or not it is worth your money to go see Aquaman, because I know that the DCEU in certain films have had mixed reviews and some people are starting to give up hope and all of those things. But I want to talk to you about Aquaman. So if you are interested and want to know if you should go see it next week, stay tuned right here and watch this video. Before we literally dive into the world of Atlantis, why don't you subscribe to this channel and become a part of this wonderful Gothamite community. So if you didn't know, the plot of Aquaman, which everything I'm about to tell you in the next 20 seconds or so, is the official synopsis of the film. I'm not giving any details away that you probably have not seen or isn't out there that Warner Brothers hasn't given to you. So just saying. Basically, King Orm, who is played by Patrick Wilson. I love Patrick Wilson, especially in the Conjuring universe films. And it is a James Wan directed film, so it totally makes sense that Patrick Wilson is part of Aquaman. I'm just saying. He wants to take over all of the 7 underwater kingdoms and rule everything, including the surface world of Earth. It is up to Aquaman, Arthur Curry, who is played by Jason Momoa, who is his half-brother, to not only receive the legendary trident of Atlan, but also to stop his half-brother from conquering everything and turning everything into chaos and just terribleness for the people of Earth. Aquaman pretty much has to save the world. In a nutshell. Very simple nutshell. Since we just talked about the synopsis of the plot itself, is it cohesive? I would say it definitely is. From start to finish, you know what's going on, everything falls into place. It is a story that you can follow very easily. It's not dumbed down, or people like to say that, especially since Batman vs Superman, people want to say the excuse of, well, the plot was complicated, but if you're not smart enough to understand that, then that's your problem, which I totally think is BS. But this story, it had a beginning, it had a middle, it had an end. A bonus, it was fun. It was entertaining. It kept my attention the entire film. There weren't slow parts in the movie. You know how there are slower parts in the movie, especially like in the beginning, it could be rather slow, and then like towards like the third act, it'll get all exciting with fight scenes and the climax battles and all of that. You will not be distracted or bored for the, I suppose, 2 hours that you're in the movie. After speaking about the plot, let's talk about the character development, because while Jason Momoa's Aquaman was briefly introduced in Batman v Superman and then he was in Justice League from last year, we know his character, we know his persona, we kind of know who he is and what he's about, and that he's a crazy, kind of drunk, powerful being of the sea and land. But other characters that we either A, have never seen before, from Patrick Wilson's King Orm to Willem Dafoe's Vulko. You probably are wondering if they developed this character enough for you to understand where they are within this continuity or within this universe. But I do believe that each new character or reoccurring character like Aquaman or even Mera, since we saw her for a very brief period of time within Justice League, all were presented very well. They all were presented their titles and how they're connected to Aquaman and how they're connected to Atlantis and the roles that they play within the entire scheme of the film. No one felt necessarily out of place. No one was disconnected. In particular, I really enjoyed the character of Black Manta, even though he is the villain. His motives and his anger towards Aquaman that you will see in the film, and the reason why he feels this way towards Aquaman, are totally justifiable, and even Aquaman feels this way and explains why. I felt that he brought to life the Black Manta that you see within the comics, and for me, that's very important. I don't care necessarily who plays these certain characters or their race or their gender or any of that as long as their personas match what the creators and what the creative teams that do work on these characters present in the comics or other media. And if they do that, I feel like it was a successful film. It was a successful take on the character. So Black Manta, Mera, who is gorgeous and such a boss woman. I love her. I want to be her. She is amazing. She is strong. She is powerful. She is witty. And she's gorgeous. When you have the whole package, it's just perfect. Amber Heard, who plays Mera, I absolutely loved her character. And even though he was the baddie of the film as well, I love Patrick Wilson's Orm. Even though he was a very greedy and power-hungry character, he portrayed that seamlessly. And him and his persona as Ocean Master, as you see within the comics, it all came together very well. Now let's talk about probably my favorite thing of the whole movie are the visuals. Literally, from looking at the underwater life, not even Atlantis yet, but just underwater and looking at all of the sea creatures and the mammals and just everything was stunning. My Aquaman, who is a marine biologist, had lots to say about why certain things couldn't be, why certain fish couldn't do this and all of that. But I am the same way when I see movies like The Mummy or anything dealing with Egyptology. But considering this is a comic book movie and Aquaman and Atlantis and his whole world is bright and colorful and extreme and has these crazy creatures, like in the movie you can see crazy seahorses that people ride like horses and even great white sharks that people ride like horses. Everything was beautiful. It was bright. It had neon. It glowed even though you're in the deep, deep depths of the ocean. You see Atlantis from when it was up on land and how it was an advanced civilization, and then it gets sunken down into the water and it became even more advanced and one of the most advanced civilizations still within the entire world. All of the arenas and parts of the ocean and parts of the world that they go to, I won't say anything in particular, but the different places they travel to all were stunning with color and brightness, and even though it's all fiction and it's Aquaman and Atlantis, they all had some type of realism. I loved Atlantis because it looked like the Atlantis within the comic books, and you can see that this magical kingdom fits very well within this universe. Speaking of visuals of the environment from in the sea or on land, the costumes that each character had were spot on. Mera's costume, King Orm's costume, Black Manta's costume. I'm actually wearing a Black Manta shirt right now, which I will discuss at the end of this video. To Volko and especially to Aquaman. I was so surprised, and you see it in the trailer, I was so surprised and very happy that you get to see the classic Aquaman suit at one point in the film. The classic orange and green that has been there since Aquaman's debut in 1941. I absolutely love it. It fit him well, even though I loved the very muted and matted green and kind of gold that you see within Justice League. I loved it. It all looked amazing. One thing I really did enjoy about the visuals is that you saw tons of references to different comics from different eras of Aquaman's long history. You saw scenes that were very reminiscent of covers from Nick Cardy, who was the Aquaman cover artist during the Silver Age and the Bronze Age. And you see storylines from Nick Cardy and Bob Haney to the New 52. You'll see a lot of different Jeff Johns and Joe Prado and Ivan Reis storylines and visuals from different comics. I mean, even with one cover, they did a whole poster based on that cover. So you already knew from the promo, especially during, I think this came out in San Diego Comic-Con, this particular poster, you already saw that Jeff Johns' Aquaman, which I know and I feel that Aquaman is Jeff Johns' baby. I knew he would pull some of that amazing material that people love, that got people back into quote-unquote liking Aquaman, and put that in the film. So that was a huge treat to see certain moments within Aquaman's long history put on the big screen for the first time. That is very cool. Now, of course, we know that Aquaman is a part of the DC Extended Universe, which consists of Man of Steel, Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, Suicide Squad, Justice League, and now Aquaman. And then in April, Shazam will come out, and then in 2020, Wonder Woman will come out. And in between that, we have Joker with Joaquin Phoenix, but that is not a part of the DC Extended Universe, if you didn't know. It's under a whole new banner that we're not even sure about yet, but I'm sure we will get more details about it soon, considering it is coming out next year. I'm sure you're wondering, is this standalone film linked somehow to the DCEU? And I will say yes, and I will say that they briefly give something to tell you that this Aquaman film is connected with all of the other films. I will not tell you what. You will go see the film and obviously be like, yep, there it is. But it does connect to the DCU, and like I said, it gives more information about Aquaman, about where he's from, about his story. It's kind of his origin story. I want to briefly also bring up the director, James Wan, which for me, I love James Wan because he did The Conjuring and Annabelle and Annabelle Creation and Conjuring 2 and The Nun and all of those films, and I love it, and he is a horror genre like god to me. I love his scary films. And you can even tell that he brought kind of that fear and that horror into certain parts of Aquaman. And I won't tell you, but there's actually a Conjuring Easter egg within Aquaman, which I died. I saw it and I was so excited. So look out for that. It's very hard to see it. It's literally there for a split second, but because it's me, I saw it and I love it. And there are tons of Easter eggs within Aquaman. So try to catch those because that's always fun too. I'm gonna go probably see this a second or third time, but this is my first time seeing it, so it's the first reaction, so I'm sure I will pick up on certain things I didn't see the first time. But I love James Wan's direction. He has said that he has not been signed on to Aquaman 2 or another DC Comics film. I don't know if that will change. I don't know if he'll change his contract or not, but he did a fantastic job on this film. So after saying that, what does this mean for the future of the DC Extended Universe? There can definitely be an Aquaman 2 or an Aquaman sequel, or his story that was in here can follow or spill over into another maybe standalone film of some sort, or another DC Comics film if it isn't an Aquaman sequel film. I thoroughly enjoyed Jason Momoa's Aquaman, not because he looks like this, but because he actually is a pretty good Aquaman. I'm all for diversity, and I've always been a fan of them changing up the look. So the fact that they did bring back the orange and green suit, while Aquaman doesn't look like the typical Aquaman that you've seen for the last 75 plus years, I think combining those two worlds totally makes sense, and it's awesome. Overall, if I wanted to rate the film for my first reaction, I would probably give this film like a 9 out of 10. This is one of the best films within the DC Extended Universe thus far. Right now, I think Wonder Woman is at the top. I don't think at this moment nothing can top that. But I think Aquaman is right under her. to be perfectly honest. Between the plot being cohesive and the understandable character development and the visuals from Atlantis to costume design to the direction of the film and even to nods to Aquaman's comic book history, it was a very awesome film. There were certain parts of the film that I wish I could have seen more of, but I won't give those specific details. Maybe if I do a full-on spoiler review and just break down everything, I will tell you what I wish they had more of or what could have made this movie a 10 out of 10. But I do give it a 9 out of 10. I am very comfortable with saying that. I'm so thrilled that this film is good. And I really do hope that people will go and watch it. I know a lot of people watched it last night. I know a lot of people went to different early screenings. I know tons of people saw it in China and the UK, which is all very, very good. And I really do hope that this film does well and it propels the DC Extended Universe even further and kind of gets it out of its slight slump that it is in. Pretty much, I loved Aquaman and I definitely recommend that you see it. Well, thank you so much for watching this non-spoiler review of Aquaman. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a bat thumbs up. So because Aquaman is splashing into theaters, my friends at Hot Topic had to hook me up with some awesome Aquaman tees. I received this note in the mail and them saying, hey, we have awesome Aquaman tees for you and we knew that you would like them. So thank you so much. I am wearing one of those right now. It is a black Manta t-shirt. I think you should be able to see it. I particularly love this shirt because it is a comic book cover to 2013's Aquaman 23.1. It was part of that whole lenticular cover series. Do you remember that? I literally collected all of them. I have all of them in my office. I was on it. I need to collect all the lenticular covers kick, and this is during the New 52. And I wore my other Aquaman shirt, which was a black shirt with the Aquaman gold symbol, and it says Aquaman on the bottom, to the film last night, and this is what it looks like. I love both of them. I love the fit. It's comfortable, like all of Hot Topic's tees. So if you're interested in getting t-shirts to go see Aquaman, or getting Funkos or keychains or different merch, I will link the Aquaman store on Hot Topic's website in the description below if you want to get ready to see the film. Or if you just want Aquaman merch, if you've already seen it and you're like, I want a t-shirt, I definitely recommend you getting a t-shirt. So thank you, Hot Topic, for once again getting me ready to be nerdy as F for any and everything that I do within my crazy comic book world. I always appreciate you guys and your partnership and your friendship and your awesomeness. Before I go, I wanted to give a very quick reminder. If you are new to this channel and this is your first time watching my video and you didn't watch my last video, or if you don't follow me on social media, which totally follow me on social media. All of it is in the description below, in particular Instagram at History of the Batman. But I am holding a giveaway right now, courtesy of my friends at Mondo. And I will be giving one lucky Gothamite a Mondo exclusive Batman the Animated Series 1/6 scale figure. And it is very, very simple to enter. All you have to do is subscribe to this channel, which is History of the Batman. Just click that button if you haven't already. And on any video, it doesn't matter. It could be this video, it could be an older video. Doesn't matter to me. I will see them all. Write, I am Batman with an exclamation point. It looks just like this phrase. And that's it. You are automatically entered for a chance to win. The contest is until December 28th. It ends at midnight Pacific Standard Time. I do want to clarify, if you either missed it in the last video or if you're new to this video, that only Gothamites that are in the contiguous 48 states. So it doesn't include Alaska or Hawaii or Puerto Rico are eligible to enter this contest and have a chance to win. I hope that you do enter this contest. It is an awesome figure. It's that guy right here. He's pretty cool. And yeah, I am already thankful for everyone who has already entered. Tons of you guys have already entered, and I'm appreciative of it. So like I said, I'm rooting for all of you guys. So of course, after saying all of that, why don't you subscribe to this channel and become a part of this Batman community? It would mean so much to me, and we will have more Batman videos and reviews and unboxings and all kinds of stuff, I think, before the year's up. So be on the lookout for that. Thanks so much for watching, and we will have more History of the Batman soon right here on YouTube. Remember, Gothamites, it's all about peace, love, and Batman. Bye.